That's not even cracked, that's broken. Hey guys, it's Luna. So we're here at Frank's Racecraft, and I just wanted to go over kind of the realities of what it's like to owning a high horsepower GTR, because it is super fun and I love driving the car, take it to multiple events, car shows, racing, but there's so much stuff behind the scenes involved with how the car is maintained and run properly. So this is basically an honest of what I hate about the LunaTik GTR, because there's quite a bit of things that a lot of people don't know that we go through when owning this car. So number one is, of course, the downtime. So I'm personally adding all of these things to the car, which is my choice, because when you want to add all of these things, which is kind of bittersweet, you're going to get the new parts and all of the upgrades, but your car has to be down for several months. So in this case, it's going to be down for several months. Right now, as you can see, we are adding a 10-point cage in the car, and so that's going to put us out a few months, along with all the other stuff we're doing. So another thing that I hate about the LunaTik GTR is the money. So this thing is quite expensive to maintain, because we're always adding parts and then maintaining the engine trans. So every time we have to send it out, it's probably a few $1,000s. So even just the cage is another few $1,000s, getting a new engine. And we're also talking about having 2 spare parts of everything, 2 engines, 2 transmissions, all of that stuff. So all of that stuff adds up. It's kind of like having another kid. And number 3 about what I hate about the LunaTik GTR is going from a bone stock car to a race car. So the thing that really grinds my gears is not having the back seats function. So even though we're adding the roll cage and everything, we're not going to be able to use the back seats. It's not going to have seat belts. And I like to just throw people in the car and just have the kids back there and just have everybody ride around and cruise. And now it just limits us to 2 of these seats. But we could still use it for storage, but it's just going to be non-functioning. So it's going from a 4-seater family car to a 2-seater car. Okay, so number 4 on our list is maintenance. So when you own a high horsepower car, there has to be maintenance. It's not just everything's warranted and that's that, one and done. There's a lot of maintenance that goes into it.
So for maintenance, there's, it's not too complicated, but it is a lot more things than your average car. There's a lot of couplers involved. We have to regularly check those, see if anything's starting to deteriorate. Oil is obviously a big one. Most people change oil about every 3,000 miles. On these cars, we typically change oil before and after a race. So if we're going to a race, we change the oil right before a race. We'll race it, when we come back, we change the oil again. Then you're driving down the street for a little bit. The next race, we gotta change it again. So there's a lot of oil changing going on. That helps ensure that we have nice fresh oil every time we run, because with the ethanol, it does break the oil down. So we want to always make sure that there's fresh oil in the car.
And it's been 2 years since I've ran the LunaTik car, and we're already pulling out the engine and transmission. So is this an every 2-year thing that we have to do?
Yeah, so we're kind of doing a mean time between failures. These motors are fairly reliable. However, we do see that the crankshafts do tend to crack after so many years and so many runs of racing.
Oh, that's not even cracked, that's broken.
The transmission is another thing. We can run it until it breaks, which gets very expensive, or after a few years of running it, we'll send it in, we'll have it inspected. If they see any damage going on with the gears, then we'll have those replaced. So it's never done. It's always a process of constantly rebuilding and fixing it.
Yeah.
And even when it's running perfectly good, like when we took this car apart, it was running perfectly good, but if we just continue to run it, something will break.
And we don't want that to happen. So the last thing on my list of 5 things I hate about the LunaTik GTR is that we do take the car to multiple races throughout the year, and each event we go to, there's different classes and restrictions. So, you know, you have to try to be, for instance, for Texas 2K, it's a 58mm class, so you have to try to go as fast as you can with just a 58mm turbo. And each race that we go to, again, has different restrictions. And so Seth can let us know, because he does help with making all those changes to the car on those different restrictions.
Okay, so
different restrictions.
So there's different races we go to, and we try to fit the car into the category that it'll best fit. And typically, the biggest restriction will be the turbo size. So, you know, we want to go as fast as we can, but we have to do it with the 58mm turbo. And sometimes even weight is involved, but usually the biggest thing is the turbo. And not all 58mm turbos are the same. So like our turbo is a 58mm turbo. However, it started life as actually like a 76mm turbo that's been cut down to 58 mils. And so that's one of the things that we have to do. There's a lot of weird things we have to do with the car to try to be as competitive as possible within the class restrictions.
Right.
Well, he summed it up for us. So that's it on like the 5 things that I hate about the LunaTik GT car. And don't get me wrong, I love my car. I love it. I love racing it, taking it to car shows. There's probably a million things that I love about that car, but these are just like the small things. It's kind of like the reality of what it's like to own a race car, and just some of the things that bother me, I guess, with it. But at the end of the day, would I still do it? Absolutely. And would I do it again and again? Absolutely. All right, so we'll see you guys on the next episode. Like and subscribe. And I think they say something about a notification bell, so hit that thing too.